Happy holidays to all our fans out there. Welcome to the first edition of Journalist Hangout. This week, I am Ayodele Ozubakun. Today on the Hangout, Nigeria's Inspector General of Police wants death sentence for kidnapping as police arrest soldier working for kidnap kingpin Evans. Later in the program, INEC denies receipt of Dino Melaye's lawsuits, says recall process still on. I'll be hanging out with Gani Kayode Balogun, Benga Onitilo, and Babajide Kolade Otitoju. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. The gripping tales of Chidumeme Owamadike, aka Evans' exploits, seemed unending. Since he was arrested earlier this month, the police and the media have been exploring all parts of the story that made him a legendary kidnapper. Surprisingly, the more they dug, the deeper they get into his world of crime. A soldier working with his gang has been arrested and has confessed to receiving 6.5 million naira for participating in 3 different operations. Last Friday, the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, attested to the revolutionary heights that Evans has taken kidnapping to in Nigeria. He said kidnapping has become an easy way to wealth by some Nigerian youths. He added that more than 2,000 kidnappers are in police custody, 2,000, and hundreds of them are arrested every day. But as he rolled out these statistics, sad statistics, the police boss called for an urgent review of the Nigerian law on kidnapping. He recommended that the least punishment for the crime should be life sentence, and there should be a time frame for the conclusion of the trial of the suspect. Babajide, we are looking at a worrisome trend here. If we have 2,000 kidnappers, suspected kidnappers, more than 2,000 suspected kidnappers in police custody, and the Inspector General of Police attesting to the fact that they arrest hundreds of youths every day on account of kidnapping. What is the attraction?
Yeah, the point is any business with a high profit margin, Nigerians would die to get involved in it. There was a time when oil bunkering, was very, very lucrative. The pipelines were not effectively policed. And so many people resorted to oil bunkering. Remember, even in Arepo here, people will break pipelines, begin to scoop fuel, Then later, when NNPC saw that it was going to get bankrupt on account of Nigerians
petroleum products
breaching its pipelines, they decided to stop. And for a long time,
that sector
that came down. So the truth is, armed robbery is much more dangerous to indulge in Nigeria at this time. The people will give you the necklace treatment even before the police storm the scene of an armed robbery incident. If they can catch you, they will serve you their own form of justice right there. So people know that it's much more dangerous to get involved in armed robbery. But kidnapping has become a lot easier, and most of the kidnappers usually don't get caught, and people will pay ransom, because when they go for those big people, they know that these are the people who can spend money. They are the heavy hitters. They can spend money, so they take the risk to kidnap these people, and they get big money. Just imagine for how long this fellow Evans has been kidnapping people, and the kind of money that he confessed that he was taking from some of these people.
It's just a greedy person. Over time that he has been collecting
more than $1 million
from an individual.
And every time it got like $1 million, he would travel abroad, maybe to go and keep some, dilute some there, or just, I don't know. But the point that I'm trying to make is, if Evans evaded scrutiny, evaded arrest for that long, that should tell you that so many other people had been involved in kidnapping and have made a fortune out of it. So more people, when people see Nigerians, we like to copy. We are copycats. When people see that you are on a particular line of business and you are succeeding, they will want to just go into that line of business.
A lot of other youths will make you their model.
If you look at hotel business, for example, I went to Iloni and I saw that virtually every street, even residential buildings, you know, old residential buildings, those where we used to play, converted to hotels. Everybody is into hotel business in Iloni. And I said, what is really happening? You know, because they've seen that some people are making money from the hospitality business. So many people have now come into it. It's the same thing that is happening with kidnapping. When you hear that people pay as much as 100 million to secure the freedom of their loved ones, you ask yourself, to which people are they sending this 100 million? Look at Fulani boys, who in the past did not know more than just following their cattle up and down. Honestly. They too are now getting involved in kidnapping. So kidnapping has become something for all comers. On the Kaduna Abuja highway,
that's
nearly every day they are kidnapping people and they are targeting lawmakers. They will tell those people, once they are kidnapped, don't call the police. If you call the police, we will kill you. They will not call the police. These boys will collect their ransom and go. The police are only able to apprehend a few of the kidnappers. So the kidnapping has become not only lucrative, but a lot easier for them. It's a lot easy for them to evade the arrest of the police. So that's why more and more people are coming into it.
GKB, from the look of things, when you see what the Inspector General of Police is talking about, it was calling for a life sentence. Because if you, the story I read, the latest I read about this Evans guy was that he has been arrested by the Imo State Police Command or Anambra Police Command on account of armed robbery. He was left off the hook, and from armed robbery, he became a very, very successful, outstanding kidnapper.
Outstanding. Well, like Jide said, the reality is that Nigerians will go into any business that's lucrative. And right now, the most lucrative business is kidnapping. And unlike armed robbery, kidnapping is an emotional crime. The element of winning is higher than mostly other crimes. Because people don't want to lose their children or lose their father, and they will do anything. And it's not peculiar to Nigeria.
Evans will keep people for weeks.
For months.
Months.
And that is the problem that we have.
Torture.
Back to your question, it's a failure of our ability to profile criminals. Because normally in most countries, the people they call the usual suspects. Yeah. People that have an history of crime. Yes. So whenever there's a nothing happening along the line,
have the record?
The first thing the police will do is pick up these people. Knowing fully well that out of one of them, they'll get a lead that lead them to the arrest of the culprits. Well, we are a now country. We don't think about the past, and we don't definitely think about the future. So if somebody somewhere has a record of a kidnapper of that magnitude, in somewhere in Imo State or Anambra State, and the one has been caught before, and nobody in his right mind can now liaise between his level in 2006 when he was caught and his level in 2017 when he was caught again, there's something wrong with our law enforcement. Their penalty, yes, is the ideal thing. But will it solve or will it prevent further kidnapping? I don't think so. But I will not go as far as what Okonwa did in Delta, asking them to step down their penalty because it is no longer fashionable. The only thing that is not fashionable is somebody picking somebody dear to you and then making a mismint of whatever you've done in your life. I think sometimes you get too attached to what foreigners think about us when they're not going through what we are going through. And because you want to look like a good boy, and we don't want to break Amnesty International's problem, we don't want problem of UN, we don't do the right thing. And unless that is done, examples are made. At the highest level, I'm afraid that we are just winking in the dark.
If you look at some of the exploits of Evans, I was reading one account of a footballer yesterday, and the harrowing experience they went through. They tried to get his father out of 15 million naira. At the end of the day,
nothing.
The man died. Maybe they killed the man. He was buried. And you could see how, I don't know, how difficult and how mean these guys could be.
Well, for me, don't call it exploits. Don't call it exploits. It's a sinister action that have been carried out by the AKA Evans. And so far, you know what I find really appalling is the way the media has turned him to a celebrity overnight.
Circus.
And the way also the police as well. In normal crimes, they don't come out and begin to show things to the media just like that. They make sure all the, because you remember what the Ghanaian authorities said. They said Nigerians, the Nigerian police authority are releasing so much information about this case.
Too much.
And part of the things, they are after some of the gangs and team members in Ghana. But this information you are releasing is making people to cover their grounds and making people to elope.
I think he owns a Ghanaian passport.
Yeah, he does. He even have a property there. So the challenge is this. The way we run our police system is why I say it's part of the major problem. You cannot, there is no way the way we are running our police system, security system, let's even forget the part of whether the presidency controls the IG or controls the police. Let's even leave that one. The issue is this. You have a police system that your police lives separately from the people. They live on barracks. They are not integrated within the society, which poses a major challenge. Like it said something about profiling. Profiling works effectively because the police lives in the community and they have people they use as informants. They integrate, they gather intelligence from living in the neighborhood. So, for example, if you are on the street and you have like 3 or 4 policemen living on your street, you know the way criminals will play down on how they do a whole lot of things. So, community policing. You can have an effective security system when your police live separate from the community. It's only when there are crises, there is a crime, that they show up with guns. There is no way that your intelligence gathering, profiling skills will be effective. So for me, I'm even appalled by what the IGP is talking about. You should be focusing on how to ensure this never happens in the first place. That should be your focus. It's not within your purview to start saying you are recommending death penalty. That is not his area.
It's not saying death penalty. It's saying life sentence. Maybe you might have seen kidnappers before now that have walked away free after the slap on the lips.
His jurisdiction is to stop crime before it happens or arrest crime. That is his own jurisdiction. The question is, what is he doing at the moment to ensure cases? For example, I know there will be people involved in intelligence.
Okay, intelligence. Just hold your thought there. Let me quickly take this break. When we come back, we're still discussing about Chidimome Owamadike, a.k.a. Evans. We'll be right back after this time out. Please stay with us. It's still Journalist Hangout. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Journalist Hangout. We're reaching you live from Television Continental here in Lagos, Nigeria. And we are looking at the growing cases of kidnapping around the country. Jide, this is very, very, frightening in a situation whereby somebody can get the assistance of a military man to be part of that trade and to give surveillance and every other thing. And this man confessed that in the last 3 trips, he had made 6.5 million naira. And for a soldier, if he's a recruit, 6.5 million naira, you know what that is to his take home.
Private. It is not a new thing for soldiers to get involved in kidnapping. There is no crime in Nigeria that soldiers don't get involved in. Whether it is paid assassination and all that, you still use soldiers. They use soldiers. If you check, you will see cases of soldiers being arrested even for robbery. It's not a new thing. And not long ago, a soldier who was based in Maiduguri, where he was supposed to be helping us to track Boko Haram, that are currently running riots in that area now, kidnapping even policemen and dragging them into Sambisa that we have rescued, that we have captured. That's where they are dragging people into now after kidnapping policemen of all people. That soldier left Maiduguri to serve as escort for a kidnapping gang, and then he was arrested. Just recently, to Google it, you will see it. So that I would have been shocked if Evans never had a soldier working for him, because smugglers use soldiers, armed robbers use soldiers. Because once you sit, once a soldier wears that uniform,
land grabbers.
Yes, land grabbers use soldiers. Once you wear that army uniform and you sit in front of a truck, you see, if you
so a police checkpoint,
go to Seme, go to just from here, drive to Seme border, you see Nigerian soldiers, you know, seated
just
in front of trucks that are used to smuggle product into our country. So once policemen sight someone wearing that uniform, they are not likely to do anything. So the kidnappers, you know, sometimes when they kidnap people, it sometimes even in your car that they kidnap you, they take you away in your car. You sit with them, they tell you to be smiling. When you get to a checkpoint, they force you to smile, unprovoked smiling and laughing, you know. So once you are smiling like that, and there's a soldier beside you, they assume that, oh, these people are just, they let them go. So kidnappers know that they need soldiers to give them that form of cover.
They consider checkpoints.
Yes, but when they get to those checkpoints with the camouflage that they have abused thoroughly, they just allow them to go. That's why an Evans decided to use this person. And I don't want to believe that this is the only soldier that he has used. If we check thoroughly, we will see that this guy has used many soldiers. But the idiocy in exposing these kind of things is that these guys will take to their heels.
Yes.
I don't know why our security
anybody
agencies
that would have collaborated with Evans earlier,
it's
apart
just
from
the same,
this particular one now.
It's just the same way that sometimes we want to catch Boko Haram and we expose our strategies.
Our tactics, yeah.
We expose it, and then these guys will now strike in a much more devastating manner, because as you plan and you put your plan in the public space, they are reading. They are probably even more current than you and I. Because how come that if Burate says something today, Sheka will go and shoot a video to condemn what he said? That means they watch TV, they watch CNN. They are just as current as you and I.
They even have informants inside.
Yes. They have satellite TV. They watch.
They have satellite phones.
Yes, they watch.
To be
the best of technology.
Yes,
not to
they
be
have
traced
access
by
to technology.
GSM technology.
Yes, that's why they are difficult to track. So I'm not surprised that they are using soldiers. It just shows that, look, kidnapping has become a big problem that we must find a way to solve. I think that having 2,000 kidnappers in custody effectively settles the argument as to whether there is a greater preponderance of armed robbery than kidnapping. I think it shows
that's clear.
Without a shadow of a doubt
the most
that more people are into kidnapping now than they are into armed robbery. I think it settles it. 2,000 people more. And what apart from the case of Baba Falai that was speedily decided and those guys got life jail, I don't know any major kidnap case for which justice has been served. I don't know anyone.
The Ebola kids, they are still
when we say that justice must be served and served quickly as a deterrent for crime, it is because we know that once they read that, oh, these guys were caught and they've been jailed, they too will learn from it. But in a situation in which we can't even see anybody jailed,
and we don't have stringent laws against
in the last 3 years, they've been kidnapping people, major kidnaps.
It's not about the laws.
Ransoms are paid. Whether police arrest them or not, ransoms get paid. Because sometimes the ransom that are used to track them. But how many people have been sentenced? We've seen state governments going for death sentence. But even these governors are cowards, as you and I know. That when eventually these people are even sentenced to death, they lack the courage to sign the death warrant.
What does that tell us?
And the other day I was talking to a friend of mine. I said, how did Americans settle for George Walker Bush? Because as governor of Texas, there was a particular woman who killed the husband with a nice pick. And in prison, she became converted, a born-again Christian. In prison. And she was moving from point to point, winning converts for Jesus Christ. And the Pope, the late Pope John Paul II, when it was the time for the execution of this woman was approaching, the Pope appealed to George W. Bush as governor of Texas. Please don't kill her. She's a changed woman. Please give her this.
She's in Christ now.
Our friend George Walker Bush defied the Pope and signed and announced that day that may the Lord have mercy on your soul. That is the sort of courage that I want from my governors. You shouldn't just be governor and be signing giving approvals, although they claim that they don't sign checks, giving approvals for hefty sums of money to be going out. That is not just the duty of a governor. When you need to sign the death warrant, because the judiciary has done its job. When you need to sign the death warrant for a criminal, for somebody who has been sentenced to death, and you can't sign it, and you say you are a governor, you are a first-rate coward.
Okay, let me take Femi. Femi is calling us from Lagos. Thank you for joining us, Femi.
Hello. Okay, I'm holding on.
Yes, good evening, Femi. Hello?
Yeah, can I?
Yes, go ahead with your contribution.
Okay, my comment is that this man was arrested in 2006, and he was fully confirmed that he involved in an armed robbery, and he was set free. The police should also, as much as possible, to locate those who are involved in being released. And this is what used to happen. Because look at Society General. The Society General went underground because some people stole the money there. The needful had been done at that particular time. We wouldn't be in the problem we are having now. Those thieves who carry people's money, and a lot of people lost their income. But a lot of people were even disturbed. They lost a lot of money there. Some of them died. In the whole lifetime of Evans, I don't think he had killed up to 20 people. In the whole lifetime of an armed robber, he cannot even kill 100 people. When these people who are using pen to rob the people.
Thank you, Femi. Femi is talking about pen robbers and these kidnappers, equating them together.
We are not discussing that today.
The corrupt public officers.
That's not the issue.
GKB, so moving forward now, how do we tame this menace?
Well, it's not rocket science, like I said earlier. Normally, we are very bad at keeping records. For example, some of us are walking around with about 6, 7 forms of identification. Where in most countries, you require only one.
To be synchronized.
For years, people have been telling us that this is what they are doing with the national ID card.
We have BVN,
but I do know people who have more than one national ID card. And
voters card.
Where they have different PVCs.
Yeah, different PVCs. I know people carry around their estate ID card, their parents' teacher association ID card.
Work ID card.
People rather. So we get to a point now that we have to decide whether we want to run a country or we want to run a party. To run a country, we have to be serious. We have to get the law enforcement to come up to the 21st century. They are still doing what they did in the 60s.
Colonial days.
They are still doing the hunch.
Native authority.
That's what they are still doing. It's not policing. Because there is no way Evans will be at large for that amount of time, and some people will not know in the police as an hardened criminal. That means he has supporters within the system.
Yes.
And that presupposes that whatever they are doing now is an excuse to provide for him a soft landing. Because this case, the way it's going,
it's already getting messed up. It's getting messed up.
That's why we are going. Because
it has become a cycles.
The amount of leakage that's coming out will not make a case work.
Too much.
All you have to prove is that the witnesses have been compromised by the leakage in the media. And so you cannot tell the truth. It's being influenced. And then the case is lost. And that shows that we are not ready to do anything about this case. Point number 1, let us solve the problem of identification. Let's have one form of identification for everybody. That presupposes that we will now know where everybody is. But we cannot do that
Central
because
system.
our population is a joke.
You don't even know how
And
many
that
there are.
will expose. It will expose us that we'll be
2006.
living in fantasy.
You're saying
And it's meant to be 10 years.
What of the role of even the telcos?
Yeah.
Because MTN was suspended.
And fine.
Because-
And
Yes.
I mean, MTN was fined for
Because, not registered-
selling pre-registered
unregistered
lines. But all the telcos in Nigeria are guilty of that.
They are guilty.
How did? Because we see
126.
Evans had a machine with which he was cutting SIMs by himself.
Imagine.
And he was using dozens and dozens of SIM cards.
126 SIM
And
cards.
he had some
Dozens of
phones
SIM
that could
cards.
jam
You
the
see, so
trackers.
if he had dozens of SIM cards, it meant that after every transaction, he would throw away,
The SIM.
or after every major communication, with
Throw away
either
the
his own boys or with a
family?
victim, with family of a victim, he would throw away the SIM. He could not have succeeded in doing that if these telcos had not continued the habit
Of selling.
selling pre-registered SIMs.
SIMs.
If you go out now in Lagos, you will find people still selling pre-registered SIMs. What is the NCC doing? How do we defeat crime? If people can buy SIM card somewhere, use the SIM card to commit crime, and immediately throw it away.
All right. Let me quickly take this commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk more. Stay with us. Welcome back. Mr. Onitilo, is there a nexus between the rate of unemployment and the surging rate of kidnapping?
Brilliant one there. That's where my thoughts were going. There is always, if you check statistics from anywhere, whenever you see crime, kidnapping, and all those things so high in any society, it means the government has failed in providing social security and welfare. That's where you start from. Remember when Dele Momodu was kidnapped, was hidden in his boat, and he had a conversation with those that kidnapped him then, and he discovered these guys were graduates, they were young people, and they even know about him.
Even Bang Beton.
So quite a lot of them. So when you really look at youth unemployment in Nigeria, over 70% of the youth that have the capacity to work are unemployed. That's a time bomb. Obasanjo just said this thing about a year or 2 years ago, and everybody thinks it's a time bomb waiting to happen. And if you don't fix the issue of social security, when these people don't even have any, so the vulnerability is quite high. And like Jude said earlier, people have seen that if you go into kidnapping, the risk are much far lower compared to when you go for armed robbery.
Return on investment.
The return on investment and the risk are far lower. So when you have a system that every arm of government is not focusing on social security or welfare, all they are all about is infrastructure. Check every one of them, all over the 36 states. All they focus on is infrastructure, not social security. And social security is what you measure performance of governance by. Human Development Index, that's what you measure it by, not just by infrastructure. And the risk is this: you never know where this will lead. You never know where this will lead.
All right, moving on now. Senator Dino Melaye is known for his unprovoked dancing in public. His extremely childish selfies on Lagos streets, his viral Ajekunya video or threat to openly assault a female senator on the floor of the Senate, perhaps his biggest means of identity, is about to unfold. Last Wednesday, his constituents demonstrated an unfettered resolve to drag him out of the red chambers as they submitted a petition containing 188,000 signatures. 188,000. Upon receipt of the petition, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, said it will begin the recall process in July. But a few days after, the lawmaker reportedly went to court seeking an order to restrain the electoral body from fulfilling the wish of its people. But INEC says it has not received any lawsuits and will continue the recall process planned. If Senator is not guilty of an allegation leading to his recall, why preempting the process? Jide, will you agree with me that he has the rights to exercise his fundamental right in courts? So, to stall the process, knowing that if this process is allowed to go on, that those people might confirm to INEC, and if a referendum is conducted, they might undo him, and he might just go down in history as the first lawmaker, at least since 1999, that has been successfully recalled.
Yes, you see, when you... Let me first address something that was all over the place on Facebook. People saying, oh, the total votes cast during the election was a lot lower than the number of signatures that they put together.
The registered voters in that constituency.
Yes. People who are not from Kogi State want to become experts at analyzing Kogi matters. You will never be an expert at analyzing Kogi matters when you have not taken the pain to understand the peculiarities of Kogi politics. Smart Adeyemi contested against Dino Melaye. Both of them were unpopular. At that time, many people were tired of Smart. Dino did not win any primary election. In fact, there was no primary election. It was just by the party leaders, he was forced on the people. And the people demonstrated their anger
by staying at home.
By storming the home of the late Abubakar Audu and shattering the louvers of his building. They went there to protest that, look, there should have been primaries. Dino has emerged fine. Where two unpopular candidates contest for an election, you do not expect the turnout of voters to be high. In this case, Kogi people who had not been paid for many, many months. Some of them have grown long necks. Some of them have even died of hunger.
Under Idris Wada?
We will now have, it started from Wada, but this governor has controlled the heritage of not paying our people, or not paying our people their salaries. Now, whereas the Holy Quran, the Prophet said in the Holy Quran that the laborer is entitled to his wages before his sweat dries on his body. Of course, Yabelo is a Muslim. Maybe he has not read that portion of the Holy Quran. Now, in this case, the governor sent his aides to Dino's constituency, of course, with tons of cash. Ayo, I was speaking with someone from my area on Saturday, and he said people were fighting to sign. Yes. Where people are impoverished, and vulnerable. What do you expect?
Let me sign.
Is it not just to sign? And you will give me this 10,000. I will sign.
Damn.
Let me tell you, if they call them tomorrow, Dino can organize rallies in Lokoja, do as much as he likes. If they bring the same amount of money,
they might get
to people,
over
they will exceed this 188,000. Because look, what has he done? He has alienated, he has distanced himself from the people. Of course, the whole world knows now that he doesn't have a constituency office. He has not called a town hall meeting.
2 years.
In 2 years now, he has not called a town hall meeting.
As a senator.
He is a senator. Some of the people who work for him, he has abandoned them. I can confirm to you that in Kaba, some of these places, some of the people who work for Dino's emergence were involved in collecting signatures for his removal. So when people analyze it to now, oh, the process is cumbersome, I just look at them, I laugh. In Nigeria, when you offend the power people, when you offend power people in Nigeria,
I want you to go.
This guy has set ablaze his own ace. So how does he win? He has burnt his bridges. How does he win? He abused Tinubu publicly. He fought Tinubu's wife. He insulted party leaders. On the day, one of the biggest defeats that this administration suffered on the floor of the Senate was the day they presented the request for that 30 billion loan. Dino was the one who came up to say, no, this thing. Saraki thought it would say true. He put it to a voice vote. It was defeated the first time. He put it to a voice vote the second time. It was defeated the second time. It was Dino who got up to say this must not work. When we say that in the Senate, APC members are behaving like opposition elements. They are doing the job that the grand
is going to be doing.
Father Christmas of the South should be doing. When we say that they are the ones doing that job, it is true. So they are the ones. Now, when you fought the federal government, you fought was it not the one who said that they will give people 1 million just to eat Mr. Biggs? 1 million to eat Mr. Biggs? Is that normal? So if I describe him as such, it's because he is eminently deserving of being described as a Father Christmas. So now, do you know, every time they want to fight, abuse this federal government, he gets up. Today, when he has this problem, where is he going to run to? Will he run to
Saraki?
Tinubu?
No, he will run to Saraki. Saraki will not singularly be able to save him because when let me tell you, if they get to the point of the referendum, Dino is gone. I can assure you. If they get to that stage, he's gone.
Do you agree with Jire?
I have to agree. He's talking about his senator and his governor.
He's senator and his governor. So he's a master.
He's a living authority from that state.
Let me add that if I have my way, I will want both of them recalled.
Yeah.
Both the governor,
the governor,
if it is possible to recall the governor, let the governor be recalled.
Kogi is proving to become our most dramatic state when it comes to this particular democracy. They're not only giving us the first governor that did not contest, and whose margin of win does not affect the result already declared. We also have a senator that's going to be kicked out, but we already have a career in music.
Yes.
Waiting for him at the end
Once he leaves the Senate.
So I guarantee you,
he will be an Akpala singer.
I guarantee you, Dino will not be jobless. He will have enough songs to sing.
Mosiliu, Aruna Ishola.
No, it will become
Dino. Hanging out with Mosiliu.
If you look at the number of hits on YouTube, that's Ajekunya. I think that should be
about the greatest. He will give Mosiliu Aruna Ishola a run for his money.
No, he's already composing.
That's why he belongs.
No, he's composing a song already. Kini Moshe.
Hey,
he's already composed. He's waiting for it to.
We are going to release him to you to become your senator. We are tired of him.
Look, I already have a minister that is useless. Don't pound my problem.
I don't. Okay, I won't ask you the name of the person or where you are
what
from.
state is it from?
No, I don't.
No, it's not complaining about his senators. He's complaining about his minister. So
my senators are wonderful.
Okay.
I can be. I don't want to.
You want to give people the kind of.
No, it doesn't matter. I have a minister that's we are embarrassed about. Not the only one.
Let's go back to the subject matter.
So, like I said, Dino is gone. It will delay this.
Can't be too sure.
This is Nigeria.
The two reasons is that, like Jide said, all the bridges has been burnt. Unless he's going to buy a fast boat to now go across to those people he has abused.
Yes.
As far as this is concerned, the matter is done. It's ironic that the man doing it is also a product of the city. And that's how the ironic part of this environment. Yaya Bello is one caricature of a governor. That is not somebody who should mention his name in public. But Dino has
a
played
massive failure
into his hands.
Yes. And he has a legitimate right to destroy his political enemy.
Yeah.
That's the nature of politics in Nigeria.
But some
You
months
don't give
before
your-
now, these guys were.
At the inauguration,
He nominated the SSG.
yeah.
The Kogi SSG nominated him.
And he was the master of the ceremony at the
Yeah, he was the one jumping up and down and saying that Kogi,
this is the doing of
Kogi
God.
is not for sale.
You know what he wanted was, he wanted to be the biggest politician from Ijumu. No, Faleke is from Ijumu. So he did not want anybody to be able to be as big as he. So he knew that if Faleke should emerge the governor, he would have become bigger than him. So all he wanted to do was remain the biggest politician from that part.
Bringer, what do you make of this mess?
Well, for me, I see it as a double-edged sword. Why do I see it as that? You know, a country cannot respond to issues or address issues beyond its level of its development. What is happening in Kogi just shows the level of our development, that leadership is still at infancy in Nigeria. And why I say it's a double-edged sword is that if by chance the people can pull through via a referendum to get Dino out of the way for the first time in history. You remember Dalong? It happened to Dalong and also happened to Mansu, but it never went through. So now, so people should understand that it has happened before, but it never really went through. If this happens with Dino, people, for the first time, the electorates have been able to test certain elements within the constitution.
That would be a sweet victory.
To prove to them that we are the ones that have the power.
Yes.
And if Dino gets out of the way, your other edge of the sword will now turn to Yahaya Bello. Because the people will now know, what about the State House of Assembly members?
You can recall them as well.
We can recall you. We said that we recall you or you impeach this guy. It now becomes it's gonna set up a rippling effect. I'm sure
across the country, sir.
Across the country, because Yahaya Bello does not even. I think it's God that is even in action. He does not even know what he has set in motion. If Dino gets out of the way, the people that have not been paid 12 months salary, 15 months salary now know they have the power and they threaten their State House of Assembly member. We want this governor to go, and if they can pull that through with Dino. He should also be counting his days.
The chief of staff said it's not 15 months, it's 12 months salary. Not
Just
15 months.
The way they talk as if it's their father's property.
Okay, let me quickly take this break. So we just see the difference between 6 and half a dozen. Stay with us.
These guys.
To this chamber.
Welcome back. This is the last lap, and we are looking at the recall of Senator Dino Melaye. And Judy, for those of us that, you know, the precedents in this recall saga, we've had the present governor of Plateau State right now, that is Lalong, if you remember that time, and we have Senator Ibrahim Mantu. What was the case during the recall of Ibrahim Mantu?
Ibrahim Mantu was Obasanjo's boy. And, you know, there was this quarrel between the Hausa Fulani, Jos North, and the natives.
The Berian
so
people.
it snowballed into a big crisis where about 1,000 people lost their lives. Obasanjo was forced to impose a state of emergency based on an antiquated law, a law that no longer exists. So he succeeded. Mantu was accused of supporting the imposition of a state of emergency on his own state because he was not on good terms with his governor. And of course, Mantu, in the senatorial district that he comes from, he happened to be a minority. He happened to have come from a minority tribe. So the people voted overwhelmingly to send him packing. It's just like someone belonging to, maybe in the state, you come from a minority tribe, your people are just about 15% of the population, your own tribe, 15% of the population. You know the nature of our politics in your senatorial district. Now, the other people are not happy with you because they are in support of the governor. And they were not happy about the fact that you caused a state of emergency to be imposed. By your utterances and all that, they felt that you were culpable, you were too loyal to Obasanjo, and they felt they needed to teach you an exemplary lesson. So they got the people, you know, to vote against this man. But INEC
under Morisiwu,
you know, or from blessed memory, INEC made sure that the process didn't succeed. That was why I said last week.
So INEC is the key factor.
INEC is key. If INEC says, look, all these signatures
are irregular.
This and that, and the bulk is finished.
That's the end.
Dino was saying something that, he saw the names of dead people. They even mentioned a biology teacher at a government secondary school, Utunkarufi, where my dad used to teach. It's normal in Nigerian politics for even a Mike Tyson to appear on the voters register. Yes.
That register is different from
this Baba that started the Apostolic Church. Babalola.
Ayo Babalola.
His name,
Ondo State.
His name continues to feature on voters register in Nigeria, not just in Ondo, everywhere. Adrian Forty discovered a lot of such people.
Wow.
We always put them on the list because politicians will have made up their minds to rig. And when they get voters' cards on those fake names, they will gather their own people who will go and vote on election day with such fake voters. They will now be answering Apostle Baba who had died since the 1930s.
1959.
Eh?
1959.
No. 1930s.
1959.
Orimola, who died in 1930?
Orimolade died in
August 1959.
Okay.
Babalola died in 1959.
So now that's the thing. It's normal for such names to feature. Dino should expect that such names will feature. But at the end of the day, will they be able to, because already they have 52%. All they need is 50.
They make provision for things like that.
Yeah, it will happen. It will happen. Fake names will figure. So
Okay,
it's part of Nigerian politics.
Austin from Enugu, I expect people from Kogi State to call me. Austin from Enugu, thank you for joining us.
They have no money to buy the church cards.
Thank you, Austin.
Yeah, good evening.
All right, go ahead with your contribution, Austin.
Yes, I want to really appreciate you for what you're doing.
Thank
and
you.
then to say that what is happening in Kogi State is heart-bleeding. It's terrible to hear that a sitting governor will carry bags of money to influence the recall of a senator. And I don't know why the people from there are just following that way, but I don't blame them. It's what poverty can cause in a nation like this.
Yes.
But my desire will be that even if they succeed in recalling Dino Melaya, they should do something about that governor. That state needs a cleansing.
Seriously.
And I hope my brother there, who is from Kogi State, will tell his people to cleanse their land.
Maybe you should send him to go.
Austin, the truth is, neither the governor nor Dino Melaya is useful to the people. So if Dino will go, our people will be happy. He's been an embarrassment in the Senate. Everyone knows that. There's no senator. There's no senator that is in that Senate who is such a laughing stock as Dino. So the people are already tired of both men. So if one, and it's a battle between both men, it is legitimate for you to destroy your political enemy. Nobody can preach. Nobody can preach. That's the nature. Even
winner takes all.
Nobody can preach to Abelo now, not to destroy Dino, because the other day he was called. He said you are no do governor, and that the governor even smokes cheap crack. He was saying all kinds of things. You know, so he's been abusing him. So both of them have descended into the gutters. So if he wants to destroy him, it's not anybody's business. And how he goes about it, if he's his political enemy. If Dino has his way, Dino too will destroy him. At this stage, that's the way it is.
I think at this stage, Nigerians will know now in 2019, we should look out for whoever is going to represent us in the House of Representatives or the Senate.
We've been moving gradually since 1999. If you remember the quality of people we sent to the houses in 1999, because a lot of professionals refused to contest because they didn't trust the system.
Process.
They assumed that the military will come back. Because
okay, let me quickly take Wada. Wada is calling us from Kogi State. Thank you so much for joining us, Wada.
Yeah, thank you so much very much.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, good evening. Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, turn on the volume of your TV.
We are enjoying this discussion, and we are very much happy for this. The people are taking this matter.
Keep talking.
Wada, your monitor is loud. Just reduce the volume of your TV set. Hello, Wada, are you still there?
It's gone.
Wow. I would have loved to get a contribution from Kogi State.
As I was saying, the quality has been rising. And now that we know that it's here to stay, we'll get more and more people involved. Yeah. I'm sure you realize
professionals should get into
because the reason why in 1999 was that no sane person would leave his job for that constitution. He says going to the house. But now it is
all the civil rights activists that fought for democracy, they stayed back. They
allowed they didn't benefit. They allow people like the former governor of Delta State. People work for Abacha. A lot of people work for Abacha. Reaped the benefit of.
So that's where we are going. Not only in 2019, even in 2023, things will get better. Right now, we are producing a lot of people at the lower levels, former House members, former commissioners, former ministers, who now have the experience.
And sometimes we've had quality representatives in this same Senate.
There are some states are lucky.
Even in the House of Rep.
Some states are lucky.
Let me quickly take Samuel from Kogi State. Quickly. Thank you for joining us, Samuel.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Simon.
Well done, sir. I just come to the program now.
All right. Go ahead.
Sir, I want to commend you people for what you are doing. Jide is saying the right thing. As if he's here. I'm calling from Kaba now.
Kaba?
Kaba, Kogi State.
Okay.
So the issue is that even as a civil servant, we have not been paid for the past, some people 12 months, some people the same place, you are working in the same office. Somebody is collecting, another person is not collecting.
Wow.
And so somebody like Yaya Bello, what he's doing is very, 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 very abusive. So those things, we cannot just write anything about it. So by sending money, it's not quite long. He sent bag of rice, a kind of customized bag of rice, local rice, giving people. So sending money to every police station to recall Dino. So all those things, we, the civil servant, it could have paid attention to us. It could have been more better. Sending this thing to recall Dino is not the right thing. You people should help us. Tell him.
Thank you, Simon. At least we have a confirmation now. From somebody from Kaba, that falls into that same constituency, Abi?
Yes, yes.
A confirmation now that
they were given money and people. There are videos. Even in his hometown, there are videos of people, long queues, people lining up to go and vote.
And you not pay them for 12 months, and if you give them the bag of rice or you give them 10,000,
they will take it.
They'll rush at it.
They will take it. So it's not in Kogi alone that it happens. People were given money to cook soup in those states. So it shows how backward we are as a nation.
And how backward we will remain.
If things don't change.
All right, I want to thank you, Benga Onitilo, for being our guest today. Thank you so much, Benga. GKB, thank you. And Babajide Otitoju, as usual, we'll do this. And that's it for Journalist Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another exciting episode of the program. You can watch the repeats tonight on DSTV 418, GoTV 45 at 11 p.m. You can also watch Journalist Hangout on youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. I'm Ayodele Ozubako. See you tomorrow. Continue to enjoy your holiday.